In this video, I am continuing my inductive Hebrew grammar, Christological Hebrew grammar, and we worked our way up to Genesis 1, verse 6. So I'm reading, and we'll look at vocabulary and grammatical analysis and commentary. It reads, Vayomer Elohim yehi rakia betoch hamayim vihi mabdil bein mayim lamayim. And God said, let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let them be a dividing between the waters up to the waters. The vocabulary here, rakia, is a noun. It means expanse. Tok is another noun that means midst, and it's in construct with mabdil, which is a noun, but it has a participial construction, a hifil. Let them be an expanse in the midst, or let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters. Actually, in the midst of the waters, let there be an expanse, and then let there be a division, a dividing between the waters up to the waters. Vayomer Elohim, looking at the grammar, Vayomer is again a pei aleph verb from the root amar. It's the cow imperfect, third masculine singular, with the yod showing that we're looking at a third person. It's a prefix singular. The vav turns it over and takes the future and puts it into the past. In other words, let them, and God said, instead of, and God will say, and God said, Yehi rakia. Yehi is the cow imperfect Joseph, third masculine singular from the root haya. It is like a command. Let there be. Rakia means expand. It's like a hammered out disc that is slid between the waters. Betoch hamayim, in the midst of the waters. Be is your preposition. Tok is means midst. It's a noun or middle. Notice the two nouns are in construct. In the midst of the waters. We have here mayim. We have seen mayim before. Here we have a definite article. Between the waters. Vihi mabdil. Notice vihi, and let there be a division or a dividing. Vihi comes from the root haya. It is a cow imperfect third masculine singular from haya. Notice here, vihi comes from veyahi, and it changes to vihi, two shavas together, change to a hirik yod. And the form was changed to a hirik yod in the first syllable then. Let there be, and this is another Joseph, a cow imperfect Joseph. Let there be a division, and it's third masculine singular. And notice mabdil, I'm rendering it as a division, a causing of a division or a divide. Bein mayim la mayim. Bein means between the waters up to the waters. So it is literally the waters to the waters. Let there be a dividing. Notice the mayim has the definite article and the preposition le hamayim has become lamayim, where the hey of the article has dropped out, and the vowel underneath the hay has shifted and gone under the lamed, the preposition. So we read it, and God said, let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let there be a division between the waters up to the waters. Notice here the application. God just speaks. He doesn't battle with the waters or struggle with the waters like in the Babylonian account, where Marduk has to struggle with Tiamat to create the world. God creates an expanse and simply slides it between the waters. And then, let me do verse 7 then. Vaya'as Elohim et harakia, vayivdel bein hamayim asher mitachat larakia, uvein hamayim asher me'al larakia, vayehi chen. And God made the expanse, and he caused a division between the waters which were from under up to the expanse, and between the waters which were from above to the expanse, and it was so. Looking at the vocabulary just briefly, asa is the verb to do. Badal is another verb to divide. Asher is a relative pronoun who. Tachat is the preposition under, and al is the preposition above, and kain is an adverb meaning so. Notice, looking at the grammar a minute, Vaya'as Elohim et harakia, and God made the expanse. Vaya'as comes from the root asa. It is a lamed hay, or a final hay form, where the hay has dropped out. The yod is a prefix, so it is again a cow imperfect, third masculine singular, from the root asa, with a vav conversive, or a vav consecutive. And God made the expanse. Vayavdel, and rakia means the expanse. And God divided between the waters. Notice Vayavdel is from the root badal, to divide. Note the stem then. We have a prefix yod with a pathak followed by a tsere. That is showing that we have what we call the hay stem, or the hifil stem. The hifil is the causative stem in Hebrew. This is a hifil imperfect, third masculine singular. And so God caused a division, and it has a vav conversive, or a vav consecutive, and he caused a division between the waters. Asher is a relative pronoun. It means which, and we can supply the verb were, which were mitachat la rakia, literally from under the expanse, or from under the expanse. Uvein hamayim, and between the waters. Asher me'al rakia, and between the waters which were from above up to the expanse. Notice here, bain is the preposition, and between the waters, u is just a conjunction and. Hamayim is the definite article ha with mayim, a dual ending, between the waters, asher me al rakia, which were from above, or above, literally from above. Min al is changed to me al with compensatory lengthening under the hirik, and the noon has elided instead of the ayin can't double, which were from above to the expanse, la rakia, between the waters which were from above to the expanse. Asher is the relative pronoun from above, And may, like I said, goes before al, the preposition, where the noon could not assimilate min al in the ayin, so we have compensatory lengthening under the mem from a hirik to a tzeri. So, and it was so. Vayehi chen. Vayehi is from the root haya, to be, and it was so. Again, a cow imperfect. Third masculine singular from haya with a vav consecutive or a vav conversive. So God made the expanse, and he caused a division from the waters which were from under the expanse, and between the waters which were from above the expanse, and it was so. So the power of God to bring chaos into order, I think, should give us hope that the same power of God exists today. And what a wonderful truth to know. And then we'll do the final verse, verse 8. Vayikra Elohim larakia shamayim. Vayehi erev, vayehi boker yom sheni. In vocabulary, we have sheni, meaning a numeral 2. And in the grammar, Vayikra Elohim larakia shamayim. And God called to the expanse heavens. Your name's going to be heavens. Notice here, shamayim basically is a dual form, heaven. Vayikra is a cow imperfect third masculine singular from the root kara, and God called. And notice here the final resh at the end here takes a long, before it, a long a vowel because you don't have a closed syllable. So vayikra, it's an open syllable, the long a vowel. And so God called to the expanse heavens. Again, vayikra is the cow imperfect third masculine singular from kara with a vav consecutive. So there was evening, vayehi erev, vayehi boker yom sheni. There was evening and there was morning, day 2. Again, in terms of the text, looking at the interpretation briefly, it is interesting that in the ancient world, in the Babylonian account, Marduk had to struggle again with Tiamat. And dividing her in half, he created the heavens and the earth. He had to struggle. Here, the Lord, there's no struggle. The Lord is on his throne and he just speaks and causes the expanse to be. So he is the king on the throne. As I look at the New Testament, Jesus likewise commands the waters when he walks on the waters and when there is a storm. He simply tells the stormy waters to be quiet, almost like stop barking. He is God in the flesh, commanding the waters, and our mind then goes back to this text where God commands the waters to abide or to divide, and they obey him. I'm going to stop there and we'll continue the next verse next time.